Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And honestly, I can't believe you clicked on this video. I warned you. I warned you. Velocity banking is a scam. You shouldn't have clicked, but if you wanted to learn, it's okay. I'll still teach it to you. In fact, you know what's funny is that I actually made a video similar to this. Do not click here. Velocity banking is a scam. You see the thumbnail there? And then somebody like wrote a comment like, I was clicking regardless, VB for life, right? Okay. All right. So we'll get ahead and get to it. And before actually we start the velocity banking review, I just want to make a quick comment that I don't think people understand the demographic or who the strategy is for because I got a lot of people like writing comments like, I can't believe you teach this. Like you nobody should use an 8% line of credit to pay off a loan. Don't you understand? And again, if you're in my shoes and you get the emails that I get, I don't think you understand the demographic of people who really need help with this strategy. And I'm just going to give you an example of this. I did a live stream how long ago? I didn't think like what was it? 4 months ago. And a person had randomly sent me their spreadsheet because this person had 22 debts and literally $4 left over in savings and was struggling. And ironically had a line of credit that was filled to the max. And I've talked about this before where the reason that happens is because of the segregation of income effect, which is actually not really that quantifiable, right? And the reason why I talk about like this is holistic is because it's not just about paying one or two debts. And I think a lot of times people just really get that wrong, right? It's about making your paying off your debt easy, right? It's about using your line of credit as an easy way to dump all of your money into it so that you don't freak out that you don't have control of your money. And if you're, having 22 debts right here, what's the easiest way to pay it off and not struggle with your debt? Right. And I've had maybe like four or five people throughout the last 2 years that I've been doing this kind of send me very similar spreadsheets, like 20, 18 debts. They even make good money, like over 10 grand a month. And it's just like, a lot of people struggle with their debt because they don't understand why they have such little leftover money even though they're making good money, and that's why call it a holistic strategy. And what happens with most people is that they get so focused on maybe like 100 or 200 or even $500, right? And I kind of think of it like this, like if you had a choice of two cars and one of them came out without seatbelts, right? And let's say it was legal to drive without seatbelts, and the car without seatbelts cost 500 or even $1,000 less. Would you take that? I mean, it depends, right? Some people would, and so that's why there are people out there who say, "Hey, you can actually do this without a line of credit," which I totally agree. But think about the demographic that I'm serving. If this person emailed you and came to you and said they wanted to use a strategy, would you turn them away, knowing that the type of behavior that they've had with their finances and only $4 left over? I mean, if you would turn them away, just send them to me because I'll help them out all day, every day, right? So that's why I teach the strategy because I know the demographic that I'm serving. If you only have one debt, let's say a mortgage, and you had $2,000 left over in your savings and you're directly able to send your savings into the loan without freaking out, then this strategy isn't for you. I've actually met people, okay, who have only one mortgage. And I said, all right, well, if you know you're paying all this interest, why are you only sending $100 over in the principal, right? I already know who I'm helping with this strategy. But a lot of people, they don't know how to put themselves in other people's shoes. Like, this strategy to me is kinda useless because I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months, but I know the people that I'm helping, which is why I make these videos over and over again, right? So, if you come to me and say velocity banking is a scam, I'll be like, "Whatever." And I'll even make videos where it's like, "This is a scam, don't click here," like I'm doing right now, and just do it over and over again. By the way, quick plug for my YouTube channel membership. So, you see this members only? A lot of people complain, "Well, this is so basic and you're not getting into the meat of it." That's because I put the good stuff behind a paywall, okay? If you're really smart, you wanna put the good stuff behind a paywall. So, If you want access to this live stream, 22 debts, real life velocity banking live stream with $4 left over, join the YouTube channel member. It's only 99 cents. In fact, there's this join button right here. So, enough of that. So, let's just go ahead and get started with velocity banking. What is velocity banking? It's a debt payoff strategy where you use your line of credit as your main operating account. That's all it is, right? That's all it is. And so, let's go ahead and get started. So, there's only two things we need to do velocity banking. Number one is a budget, which we've already done here, which we already have done here. And then we need a line of credit as our main operating account. So we're just going to assume that we have access to a line of credit. And so, what's a line of credit? All it is a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay back, and then use it over and over again, right? Line of credit. So, credit cards and line of credit, but there's personal, home equity. All of them. I have over $575,000 in lines of credit. Can you believe it? I can't believe it either. I can't believe it. Just like I can't believe that I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. All right, so let's go ahead and copy the income, copy the expenses, and we're going to do this, right? And we're going to have zero savings, which is the thing that most people struggle with. And this is why, with people, even though they only have one debt, they can't do that. And the line of credit actually makes it easier to dump all your money into debt because it's a two-way street, right? You're not going to segregate your income, which is kind of an unquantifiable idea. But when you see what the banks want for you, which is debt, 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 and split all of your income into 20 something payments and only pay the minimums, you kind of value having that seatbelt and paying a little bit more, right? So let's go ahead and do this. And let's assume we have how much? I always like to make it easy because these are free demonstrations. Plus 33 plus 9. Yeah, $60,000 in lines of credit. And we'll assume we have 56,000. And I'm going to do this right here. So first step, well, I don't know if it's the first step because there's several steps. Budget, line of credit, move some debt into the line of credit, 56,000. And then guess what happens here? Well, these all go to 0, 0, 0, right? So see how easy that was? And that's because I've been doing this a gajillion times. So $709 of leftover savings and $2,540 in cash flow. And so there's two steps to this. Or the two final steps, which is putting your money into the line of credit and then taking your expenses out of the line of credit. Okay. So if I take a look here, and where's my reference sheet? This is what I do. This is the big boy pants where a lot of people have struggled with. So even if they have only one loan, someone recently I talked to was like, "Oh, I only have the mortgage left." It's like, "Oh, cool. So why don't you dump all your savings into it?" I can't do it. I just need to feel like I have savings. Okay, that's cool, man. But if you do it with the line of credit, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but you just dump all your money into it. But again, you could just reuse it over and over again, right? And so that's what I do. I have zero money here. I dump the pay. So once I get paid, I just immediately take it out and dump it into the line of credit, right? And there's a certain order that we have to do this. So we always start off with the credit cards first, and then the auto, student, and then mortgage. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and pay this off quickly, right? So it's paycheck in, expenses out. And after every single month, our balance is going to go down by our cash flow. So 2540.51. And then I'm going to go in here and take the average daily balance, multiply it by the interest rate, 0.08, and then divide by 12. In fact, I think my current interest rate on the HELOC that I have, again, I have a $280,000 HELOC right here, is 7.5%. The bank emailed me twice that we originally started at 8, but they just randomly emailed me out of the blue like, "Oh, it's 7.75%." And then next month's like 7.5%. So I must be a really good credit risk according to them. And we all know that the interest rate is kind of correlated with two things, which is access to your money and the amount of risk that you have. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to copy and paste. And so let's go ahead and do this right here. And so this is kind of 24 months we paid off these credit card debts. And so we do that here, and then let me think. How much did we pay off? 56K. Okay. So 56K, we paid it off, three of them. And then now we got to figure out how much we pay on the loan, which is in 24 months. So we got a loan calculator right here. And let me see if I got this correct. Sometimes I forget to re-upload or re-update these things just because I'm like too lazy to check before I start my recording, but it's okay. All right, so let's see if these numbers are correct. Hopefully they are. All right, let me move this here. 42, 477, 1498. 483, 25. Huh. 483, 477, 1498. Yeah, I think it's right. Okay. All right, so now I put in 24, 24, 24, right? And this cool loan calculator that I have. And then I just move this 15 grand to get the $483 of cash flow. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to do this right here. And let's do this plus 15887.22. Okay. And now we get this extra $0 in cash flow. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then this is 3023.83 and copy and paste. And then 30 months, this is paid off, right? Paid off. So in 30 months, and I'm going to do this right here. So it's 56 plus 25K. Oopsie, I screwed up on the math. 81K. All right. And all right, so now let's go ahead and do this. 45,000 after 30 months. So let's go ahead and do this. So 0, 30, 30. Okay. And all right. So let's go ahead and pay this. Oh, wait, did I screw that? No. Okay. That's fine. And so 5% here, $35,000. And all right. So again, our goal is to not only pay off our debt quickly, but make it very, very easy to pay off. So even though we have a 5% loan, does it make sense to move it to an 8% line of credit? Probably not. And the reason why we still do it is because we don't want to segregate our income and make it very easy for us to pay it off. The average person, even if they have one loan, and again, we should have plenty of money left over, which is about $3,000 left over, is going to have a very hard time to figure out, okay, well, do I put the whole $3,000 into the student loan or into the mortgage? The mortgage is 6%, so it must be smart to dump all my money into the 6% mortgage and to just leave a student loan alone, right? So and then they'll eventually do nothing and then put the money into savings, which is not bad if they have $3,000 of savings left over. But because of Parkinson's law, they're just going to end up using the money anyways, right? So yeah, so that's essentially what's going to happen. So let's just use the line of credit as a bridge to help us pay it off quickly, right? And not segregate our income, because what happens to confused minds is they essentially do nothing, right? You ever hear that phrase? A confused mind does nothing. And that's why we don't want to segregate our income. We want to use our line of credit. Hey, if it's 8%, heck, even if it's 30%, right? If it's going to help us achieve our goals, then why not do it? Right? Because the alternative for most people is just, well, I'm afraid I'm going to put $100, $200 a month, and then they're just not going to do it. You think the average person doesn't know how much money they can save by overpaying their mortgage? They've done the calculation. But because of social conditioning and the fact that they think that they need savings is the reason why they'll never do it. Okay. Well, luckily, we have this velocity calculating majigger that we have right here. So I'm going to do this right here and then do this. And we're just going to put in all the details. And let's start off with the student loan. So 45,000, 45,000, not 450,000, 45,000. And the current balance is 35,759.89. So 35,759. Actually, let me see if I can do this. Ah, it's just the formula. I don't want to manually copy it or manually type it in because I'm lazy. But 35759.89. 35759.89. And then this is a 10-year loan. And what's the interest rate? Is 5%, 10 years. And this is going to be 477.29. Okay, so what's our income right now? It is blah, 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 blah. It's 7,000. All right, 7,000 right here. And then let me just do this. How much are we with our expenses? I don't even know. Oh, it's 3498.88. Okay, 3498.88. And I gotta leave soon, so 3498.88. And then again, this is called chunking, where you just move pieces of loan and line of credit, dump all your money in, and how long does it take? 0.9 years. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And then we're just gonna do this. So 30 plus 0.9 times 12. So we'll say 41 months. And then this is now 0, right? And so this is gonna be 81 plus 45, 126K. And then now we just do the same thing with the mortgage. So this is 0, this is 41 months. And then now we just kind of fill in the same details here. $250,000. So let's start off with his 250. Okay. And 238,706.08. 238,706.08. And then the interest rate is 6%, 30 years, and 1498.88. Okay, and then this should be $2,000. And so as you can see right here, 4.6 years, we paid off and we should be good. All right, so now, all right, so this is 41 divided by 12 plus divided by 12 plus 4.6, 8.02 years, debt free, and we're good. Okay, so yeah. Okay, how many people do you know who are debt free in 8 years completely? Probably not a lot, right? So, no, I get it. Not a lot of people are like me where they pay off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months, but, you know. I don't even know. All right. So, again, so here's the thing. I actually confess that I am kind of bored of making these velocity banking videos. I don't even care if you like them or not, but I do know there's a demographic and a marketplace that they serve because a lot of people do struggle with debt, right? This isn't just like a one time only thing. I've had like, was it 3 or 4 people send me almost this kind of type of spreadsheet where like they had 15 or 22 debts and things like segregation of income. Hey, making it easy to pay off your all your debt in a certain order using a cash flow index. Giving them some structure rather than just saying, hey, they're kind of dumb for not being able to figure it out. I mean, that doesn't help anybody, right? So I kind of already know my demographic that I'm trying to help, but a lot of people are like, "Oh my goodness." Oh, all right, well, I mean, if you think it doesn't work, then it doesn't, right? And I don't even know what to say. Just kind of like, whatever. But I got to learn from the best. You remember the carpet cleaners from Seinfeld where like they're cleaning carpets and they have it. It's an excuse to create a cult. But well, this is a confession here. Well, this whole velocity banking stuff is just an excuse for me to create a cult and to help people also. And that's why, I kind of get these letters about how happy people are that I helped them. But if you want to tell them that whatever I teach them is bunk, go ahead, free feel to email them if I can magically erase where this from is. Okay. Well, happy Sunday, everybody. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's the 5th already. And I'm so sleepy. Gotta do my health workout regimen and then leave the house. But have a great day, everybody. Again, is velocity banking a scam? It probably is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a cult leader. I know for sure that I'm making. How much am I making? Where is it right here? Let me just show you the analytics. $200 to $500 a month, depending on the season. So it's pretty lucrative. Maybe that's how I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. I don't know. All right. Well, have a great day, everybody, and have a blessed Sunday. This is Creating Atlanta Mentorship.